Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Sue. Good morning, Brioni. Gotta wait for it to come on, too. There it is. Hi, Trees. There we go. Oh, Troy, I'm just gonna have to sit on it from the start, aren't I? Your hair is looking crazy, dude. How's it going, everybody? You finally got some sunshine? Hi, Miss Edie. It's like gloomy here. It was actually kind of cool that I almost thought for a second to turn the heat on just for a minute, but I have the fan on. It was a nice thought. It was a nice thought. Hi, Sheila. We could keep wishful thinking, but it's okay. I already changed it up there. So, how are you, Leveda? Troy, I already changed it. I got it already. No. Don't pull the screen too far. That's fine right there. I can see it good. Hi, Tina. I know. Look at your hair. Every time I wet it and then you go doing all crazy stuff. Hi, Miss Linda. Hi, Shonda. Hi, Helen. Hi, Lori. It's like every other day YouTube does that funny thing with the names on there. Looks so weird. So yesterday, obviously, I wasn't here because Troy's annual. He has two. You guys know the dude that was horrible. That we finally got the lady with the blue hair that I thought was amazing. Well, this is like a counterpart company that also does services for Troy. And so right now, these two ladies that we have are absolutely amazing. I'm hoping that the lady with the blue hair comes back this next review as well. But it was funny because the lady that was here yesterday, we were talking about all the problems that we had before the lady with the blue hair came, and she was like, well, we're not going to go through that anymore. If you get somebody who's no good again, you let me know and I'll come here with you. And so she's amazing, but she was here for like a little over 2 hours. So it was I was starting to get nervous because I was like, is she going to be here? Like, I'm going to have to tell her I got to go pick up Trevor because she's really easy to talk to. So anyways, let me tell you a story. Hi, Mac. Hi, Jean. Blue or old lady blue hair? No, blue hair, like Troy color blue shirt hair, blue hair. She's really cool, really cool. So I never, ever have my phone off of silent because my phone makes noise 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it's absolutely horrible because if somebody really needs to get a hold of me, it's really hard because I cannot have my phone on. It beeps and buzzes and does all kind of obnoxious things, literally 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's no exaggeration. Like I can't even handle it. It drives me nuts. But yesterday, for some reason, my phone was on, like the sound was on. And I get a phone call from Iowa while we're sitting there talking. And I'm like, so I send it to voicemail, decline the call, whatever. Then I get a phone call with my area code here. and I always have an earpiece in, my earbud. And so she's talking during this time. And I send that call to voicemail as well. Well, I mean, yeah, to voicemail. Well, a few seconds later, I actually get a voicemail, because usually when it's these telemarketers or whatever, they don't leave a message, right? So as she's talking, I listen to the voicemail. Hello, Terry. This is Officer so and so and so and so with so and so police department. We have an open line on 911. I think it's your son. I'm pretty sure it's your son. Can you check his phone before we come out? Da, 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 da. And I'm like, of all times. Hi, Mary Sharkey. So I have to interrupt her. I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I need to call the police department. And she's looking at me, and I'm like, yeah, Troy, he likes to call 911. We're very known around here. All the reasons why we don't need to be known, but we're very known. But meanwhile, can you hold on a second? I need to call 911. So I call, and I'm like, it's okay. It really, yes, it is my son. You guys don't need to come. I'm so sorry. And she's like, okay, I'll let the officer know he doesn't need to come out. So then I have to sit down and explain to her that he likes to call 911. I was just like, of all times, Troy, of all times. But she understands, like I told her, I said, there's not many things that Troy wants. There is one thing that I absolutely cannot take away from him, and that is his phone. So I'm sorry, I'll pay all the fines I need to. I'll take all the knocks on the door that I have to take or whatever. But then she's like, no, that's his comfort. And I said, yeah, it is. And I said, it's just unfortunate that his comfort has a direct dial to 911 that we can't stop, because all phones call 911, whether they're in service or not. Anyways. At least they called and they didn't come pounding on the door and she's sitting in. That would have been a disaster if they would have come pounding on the door like, what's going on? And she would have been sitting there like, this was an interesting visit. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Lori. Yeah, that would have been probably, we would have laughed today, but I would have been mortified yesterday. I was already mortified. I was already like, oh, Lordy be, because I had to interrupt her because she was finally getting to what we were here for, because we were just chit-chatting for like about an hour, but she was finally going through the papers that we needed to go through, and I had to interrupt her like, put the brakes on. We gotta call 911 real quick. Hold on. Anyways, so and that's another thing. I was completely convinced that today was Friday. I put my trash cans out last night. I thought today was Friday, and I was so aggravated when I found out today was not Friday. By the by. So on what day? Tuesday, I think. Whatever day I was here last, we worked on the silver tray that I picked up from the Hope Chest. That was the edible arrangements. And then we put the ILD trimmings 1, I think, mold around there. What I explained to you guys is wherever we did have the connectors, which is right here, that they're going to probably split because clay shrinks, and that's just going to just be the natural behavior of clay. And there could be some cracks. There's really not too many cracks, not any that I would want to cover up. But where there are connectors, we are going to put some slip in there to close those connectors up so you can't tell. And then we'll get to painting and decorating and all that good stuff. Hey, Ashley. I thought yesterday was Thursday. It's Friday for me. I was so aggravated when I kept thinking Today was I mean, I put my trash cans out, which was really funny because I must have made my neighbors nervous because they put their trash cans out too. So they were probably like, oh, does she know something? Is trash coming early? We need to put our trash out. So everybody's trash cans are out. And I'm like, oh, sorry, my fault. I just don't know what day it is. Yeah. Anyways, so let's get a little bit of I'm just going to, you can either use slip, which is great, or you can use what I actually love is the texture paste opaque matte by Ranger. It's got an awesome consistency. I usually use that to put it in there. Well, I almost always use that, but we'll use some slip today because I have the clay still out. I was even, you want to go down? Wait, let's move this so you don't put your knee on it. You want me to move this out of your way so you could use this? And I'm wondering why nobody was saying anything to me yesterday, because whenever I go in the mornings to get Troy snack at the gas station after I drop off Trevor, the one gal that's always off on Thursdays, I was like, okay, you know, she starts her weekend obviously early. I was like, okay, I hope you have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. And she didn't say anything to me either. She's probably like, what on earth? This chick does not know what day she's on. Yeah, anyways. All right, I'm just going to take a little bit of clay. I really should put my gloves on. I will take my thing off because it's going to get dirty. I'm just going to get a little bit of clay and ouch, and not punch the screen. Gosh, that kind of hurt. That one's probably a little bit too wobbly. Can you guys not do that, please? All right, I'm hot, man. And then I'm gonna get water. Hi, Jackie Bates. Thank you. Hi, Miss Edie. You got the hiccup ups? Hi, Sandy Hankelman. All right. So, yeah, I told Trevor, I said, I'm so mad because remember, Trevor is on vacation next week, right? So I was like, I'm so mad. I thought today was Friday and I wasn't going to have to go driving for a while. Tell me why that kid looked at me and goes, why'd you think today was Friday? Oh, suck you up. Just like, I don't know. All right, so you see we're just making, I'm just taking a very little, pinching off a very little amount and using a lot of water. Oh my gosh, he just looked at me like, well, why do you think it was Friday? And I'm like, oh, you turkey lips. I don't know, because I did. Smarty pants. Oh, all right. Troy. Don't try to get Onyx through there. Troy. Oh, my Lanta. Troy, get out of there. Boy, don't try to butter me up. Get out of there, Troy. Troy, there's too many cords back there, son. You guys can see that one is really, like I can stick my nail in there. That one separated a lot. Troy, James. I know, I love the church. It's so pretty. And we haven't even like really like done, you know, we did one layer of varnish on there, but we haven't done anything more to it, which we will today. And after I left you guys on whatever day it was, today is Thursday, yesterday, so Tuesday, I put the tray up at the top there and just let it do its thing. I'm bound to get this stuff all over me. Thank you, son. Yeah, let's not, I know you want to mess with Onyx, but how about we don't? Turkey lips. I call it turkey lips all the time. Turkey lips. Troy, she's gonna nip at you. Stop. Because now you're gonna start aggravating her. So again, everywhere that we connected the clay, you're gonna see it breaks apart a little bit. It just separates a little bit. So it really just depends on, you know, what you like to see. I don't mind these little cracks here. You know what I mean? But anywhere where I know that I connected it, I don't want it to have these big gaping holes. Hi, Elaine. Yeah, because in the front of me is like these big cabinets, and then my big box lights, and all of the cords are back there, and there's really not much room. There's room to walk, but not room for Troy to walk, because Troy needs to hold on, and then there's cords and stuff back there. But you know, Troy has no fear and feels like he can go anywhere. All right. So I might do a little bit more there. Now, don't grab my leg. Get off me. So I want the slip in there, but I don't want it to make it look like it's one big one. So I'm just going to go in with my silicone brush, and I'm going to wet it. Troy, stop. Just to make the little lines in there. Again, these little cracks here, they don't bug me. I don't even know if I do want to mess with that. In the back there, you can really tell. So let's, again. And you see, I still have a lot of that clay left. So you don't need much at all when you're doing when you're making the slip like that. All right. Okay, good enough. I'm just going to throw that little bit away. Hi, Robin. Not late at all. I put this blue church on a half moon wood shelf sitter and gave it to my friend yesterday. Aww. Sounds so pretty. Okay. And then I am going to give it, now I do have just one layer of varnish on there. We will do more before we start painting, because I want to make sure I am able to wipe off any paint. And And then we will do some work. Let me show you. I was really looking at this. Do you guys remember when, I don't know if you can see it very well. Can you see the roof in there? When I was doing the snow crystal pin and the ice, but it's very 3D, but can you see how it actually looks like snow? So we might do some of that on here because I think that it would look really pretty underneath the epoxy as well, having the glitter. And I have Finn's glitter out here, so I'll probably sprinkle a little more into it. All right. So let's get, and I'm thinking on the outside, I know I had talked about maybe painting it like a darker color on the outside, but I, as usual, am going to go against that thought, and we're going to do the vintage beige. And then we'll antique it all up. So I'm going to get my gloss, and let's do a couple of layers on here because we got to get on the inside there. I can feel it feels very bumpy in some of these areas from where the 3D gloss didn't get wiped off. So I'm going to have to go in there and knock that back with some of the gator. I'm going to have to use the gator and knock that down. So we're just going to make sure we've got our varnish on here so that way we don't have to worry about any paint that lands onto the print. It'll be easily wiped away because we will have our varnish down. All right. So we'll get one coat down, really make sure we're getting our edges because that's where the paint's going to land. And then we'll dry this and do at least one more. Kind of want to do something to these windows too, but we'll see. And I'm thinking that in between each one, it's going to take time, but I'm thinking in between each one of, in the grooves here, I'm going to go in with like the 3D decor pin. Troy, you are so very impatient. Hold on, Pops. I got you. There's that. Want me to put it here so you can put your glasses on? I don't have anything to clean your glasses with, son. Oh, here. No, I don't want to use that. Yeah. I feel like Troy might have turned down my lights. You have to charge it longer than that, Pops. It wasn't even charged just a second ago. That's why it's so dark. You got to put it on the charger, love. All right, let's do, here's your pudding. Let's do one more. And then paint. Get to painting, get to the good stuff. Okay. Troy, you got to turn it down, Pops. Troy, you got to turn it down, Papas. I don't know what you guys are barking at. That has nothing to do with nothing. Y'all barking for no reason. Which, I mean, I don't know that you guys ever really have a reason majority of the time. All right, let's dry this, and then I need to check out the perimeter there because I can see some bumpy lumpies happening. Hi, Angela. Can you iron to get a wrinkle out using decoupage varnish and glue or just Mod Podge, please? Can you explain that, Trees? What do you mean? Can you iron to get a wrinkle out? Can you iron to get a wrinkle out of what? Like just rice paper? And are you talking about you've used one or the two? Hi, Valerie. Are you doing, obviously you're doing textile of some sort. So did you put down the rice paper or fabric tissue or what have you, and now you have a wrinkle? And you're asking if you can use the iron? I'm decoupaging paper, not rice paper, and I have a wrinkle. So you're using like regular like printer paper or whatever, and you have a wrinkle. So you can heat activate it, yes. Obviously use your parchment paper, and it doesn't matter what medium you've used. Just make sure it's dry. Very, 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 very dry before you use the heat. Okay, so I'm almost positive. I have a 320 here, and I'm almost positive as I go around here that I am going to probably take off a majority of that bonding primer because I put a very, very, very light layer of bonding primer down on there. You guys know how I feel about that. But a lot of that is my bad because I did not wipe it off really well. And so if we paint this, you can see, maybe you can't, there's some bumpy lumpies happening in there. And if I paint that, you're going to see, especially with this, you're going to see the bumpy lumpies. So what I'm going to do to combat the fact that I'm not going to have a bonding primer underneath something that is non-porous is I will probably brush up, not probably, I will brush up on the walls with the epoxy so that it will be protected and it won't get scratched or anything. I thought I wiped it well enough on Tuesday, but obviously not, because I still see a lot of the bumps and lumps. So if I start going back and forth and I start to see the silver, it is what it is. I'd rather see the silver than have all of these lumpy bumpies from the 3D gloss gel, because I think that's just going to look horrible. So I will go up on there with epoxy. Now, had I put a thicker layer of like the Pintart bonding primer on there, and I will go in with a 320, I wouldn't have scratched down to the silver. But the fact that I didn't, I just very lightly sprayed it because I knew I was going to do the fabric paper on top of it. Was just being lazy, to be honest. So I should have made sure to have wiped down the edges really well, so that way we wouldn't be going through this. Hi, Jeanette. Thank you. You're welcome, Treese. Yeah, it doesn't matter the medium. As long as you've treated the fabric and you have medium down at the base, like on the textile to heat activate, you'll be fine. No, I don't want that hat on. Stop. Quit playing. Quit playing, Troy. Get off me. Rude. He doesn't like my hat. Oh, Onyx certainly doesn't want to wear a hat, Troy. Nobody's trying to snatch my hat off my head. Wait. No, my drink is right there. Don't play. I'm not trying to clean up mess right now. All right, so I'm just going to go around here. Hey, get off me. Get off me. You don't. No. Stop. I know, son. I know. Oh, and that's what another thing we talked about yesterday is all of his phone cases and how he probably has about 2,000 of them right now rolling around everywhere in the house. She was laughing. She thought it was funny. And at one point, he was over here sitting at my desk here, and get off me. And we were talking about him. Obviously, we were talking about him the whole time. Well, I don't know. At the beginning, we were chit-chatting about food and stuff. But at one point, we were like really talking just strictly about him and how he like runs amok at night and you know, does things. And he comes around the corner and he looks at us and he smiles and then he walks back, and I said, he's something else. She goes, he knows we're talking about him. I said, yes, he does. Oh, I was telling her how he was sniffing out Trevor's gifts in the closet. And she was cracking up. And you know what she said? She goes, you need to get a safe with a lock on it. I started laughing. I said, I know. Everybody's telling me I need to get a safe. All right. He is a rascal. Hi, Angela. He's something else. He's like, no, I don't like that hat. Let's change your hat. Meanwhile, he pulls the hat off of my head and my hair is going to go. Because it's, you know, once you pull the hat off. Okay, I can't take it. Oh, my mic's on here. Hold, please. I can't take it. I don't know who I think I am trying to wear a jacket. It's hot. Okay. Let's run the vacuum in here just really quickly, just to make sure we don't have any little bits and bobs. Like right there. All right. And then this is, again, I carry this in the 100 mil. You don't need to get it in the 230. But this is a great color. Okie dokie, artichoke. Let's do this. So I'm thinking I want to put a trim in here. You know, the trim, my favorite trims like this one. I think that one would be pretty because it's just enough and it's nice and shiny. So that's going to go around. I should probably take some of this out because I'm going to have to keep sticking my brush in there, and that's going to just be a nightmare. KMM. I know it's in my Amazon store. It's a blower in the back because you guys see this is the one I blow like all of the foil out of my face with. And then it has 3 speeds. VC-01. But yeah, Trevor's bought one and Nick bought one like it. They're black. I've had a couple of them, but this one by far is the best. All right, let me scoop some of this out of here because I already know it's going to aggravate me when I'm putting my brush in there. Now, obviously, it's chalk paint. It's thicker. So I might take a little bit of my fluid medium just to thin it out so I can not fight with a whole lot of brush strokes. Where are you going? Hmm? So obviously you see how now it's just makes it easier, especially when I'm getting up around here. Up here, I don't care about brush strokes, but down on the tray part, I just don't want to be fussing and fighting. Oh yeah, see? That's going to be a good color. I don't want to be fussing with trying to smooth out. Hold on. I already know you're going to grab my left arm. Looky here. I know, Pops. You got to actually leave it on the charger, though, for a minute. Okay? You got to leave it on there. So, obviously, where I've pulled back and because I just thinned it out a little bit with the fluid medium, wherever the actual silver is showing, I'm going to have to go back over it with another coat, which is fine, whatever. You're welcome. I'm pretty sure if you go exclamation Amazon, it's in my Amazon store, and you can type in vacuum and it'll come up. Just, I know I have 2 of them in there. I should take the other one out. I mean, they're both good. I just like this one a lot more. Plus, I like the blower on this one. It's a lot stronger than the black one that I had. So this is why it was super important, right, for us to varnish, just in case I did get the paint on the picture. Okay, so we'll let this first little layer dry. And we'll work on the top, and then we'll go back around it on the inside. Now, again, on the top, I don't mind if it's a little bit thicker, because I can just go ahead and spritz it a little bit as well. I really like this color. Oh, no, 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 we can't have that. Oh, it already got in there. Look, Faith is already. The Faith has already got some chalk paint on it. I think it'll be really pretty in between each one of these to put like maybe the either the snow or the ice crystal, just so that there's some kind of something in between each one of them. I think that'll be really pretty. Fluid medium. Mary Sharkey, did that work for you or no? See, I will get into the habit of checking to see if they turn off my shortcuts, because I feel like this is a thing that they do that I didn't realize. Oh, it did work for you. Okay, I can't see it up in here, but it didn't even do it over here, so that's weird. Am I frozen? I'm not frozen. So fluid medium is a component that's already in paint. I say that if you have acrylic paint, you need fluid medium in your arsenal. It doesn't matter what kind of paint it is, because it will bring it back to life. I know a lot of people will just, spritz water in their jar or whatever whenever it's drying out a little bit. That's not going to keep it revived. The fluid medium will. Like I will spritz my paint with water, but that's just to thin it out and to get it to move. It's not something I would like if this was too thick. I don't do. I know a lot of people do that, but that you shouldn't do that. Water is not. It's not. It's not going to work. It might work for that minute while you're using it, but I know this is part of the process, but I get so impatient at this process. I want to do the antiquing. I want to do all the fun stuff. It's just, gotta paint it first before we could do all of that. Hi, Tanya. It did it? What the heck? Where did it take you? I'll look at it. I'm not sure, Laura. I can't remember if you do or not either. But yes. I have had backups of fluid medium forever. Anytime I don't, well, now I don't run out, obviously, because I stock it in the store, but I made sure that I never ran out. Not that my paints would dry out, but you know, it's always good to have on hand because something. All right. We're getting there. Because I have this color and another color called Mandel in this size, and I keep them over here and not with my paints, I often forget about these colors, but gosh, this one is such a good color. Hold on a second. Oh gosh, I just cracked my knee on my desk. What are you doing exactly? Stop moving around. Okay. Do you guys see this right here? I'm trying to tell myself to let it go. Elsa. Hi, Phyllis. I keep looking at it and I just let it go. Let it go. Just let it go. Just quit being a, just let it go. All right. I'll have to come back and paint that in a minute. It's just don't look at it. Quit looking at it. It's okay. Just quit looking at it. That never works. I tried though. You see, I went all the way. I seen it from the very beginning. I went all the way around. I tried. I tried hard. Hi, Barbara Ross. I tried, y'all. I seen it since the very beginning, and I was just like, it's okay. It's okay. Because it's not as it's a split, but it wasn't like a, I don't know how to explain it. Anyways, but I seen it and I'm like, it's okay, just it'll be all right. It doesn't look so bad. It's okay. Yeah, well, I tried. I tried so hard, but it didn't work. Apparently. All right, so now we're gonna really cover up any of that. Where I had to pull up any of the paint. What is that? Slip in there? How did I get clay in there? I'm gonna need to dry it right there so I can get paint to stick to it right there where I fixed it. All right, let's dry that up there a little bit. And then cover that one little spot there that I tried to ignore. When I start making my Western outfits, I hate the same effect. 5 minutes? Oh my gosh. Hola, Ari. How's mama doing? Oh, because it is clay too, some of the bits on the clay that didn't get painted, or if it got like a little piece that got missed, I'm not too worried about, because we're going to antique it up and the antiquing gel will grab in there. But I don't want ugly brush strokes, especially going the wrong way on the clay. That stuff drives me crazy. Oh, I really like that color with that picture. The color that I'm using is called Vintage Beige. It's a decor paint chalky. It is in the store. I'm good. I'm day 4 of heart monitor. Ready to pull it off. No. The adhesive is painful. Did they put it on like it's irritating, you mean? All right, let's get this goopies off of my hand. I know you guys thought that brush was going to go on the print. Ah. And then, like I said, I will put bonding primer on the bottom of the tray when I'm all done, and do it, all on the sides and stuff. It's just no use in doing it whenever I'm working on it, because it's just going to get scratched. Okay. Let's put that in there. This needs to go on this side because it's got a lot on there. Man, what the world? The clay, huh? The slip. What the what? Okay. Let's get some. What do we want to use, though? I don't want... All right. Let's see what we got going on here. Excuse me. Coming through. Oh, we don't need you right now. Okay. I think we'll start with a little bit of the brown and then figure out and then I'm going to work in a little bit of the green. There's some weird beeping noises coming. Oh, Lordy be. Lord only knows what I'm going to find, y'all. Lord only knows. I hear some beeping noises. Okay, the antiquing gel is water-based. You can use it at full strength if you want. I hardly ever use it at full strength. I almost always will mix it with water. That is my personal preference. You do not have to do that. And just be ready because you're going to use a lot of baby wipes. Well, I will at least. Hi, Megan. Oh, yeah, I already asked her yesterday or the other day. I was like, because last time she couldn't because she still had marching band, but she's definitely going to crash. Terry, I'm so excited. Next weekend, I have about 12 of my friends and family coming over for a craft night. We're going to be decorating the round eye ornaments. Oh, I'm so excited. Make sure you post that in the group. I would love to see. Aw, I love that your friends are going to do that. Okay, y'all. So we're going to start with the brown antiquing gel first. Again, you can use it at full strength if you want. I never do, but that is always just my personal preference. I will tell you though, you're going to use a lot of baby wipes. Now, this again is personal preference on how much you wipe back. Okay, so as you can see, look at that. Oh my banana daiquiris. Now, what I do tell you guys is, though, you guys already know I don't like the goopies, right? I don't like the goopies. That's just me, though. So if you want and you like it where it's quite thick and chunky as far as like it, you know, the antiquing gel being in there, that's all good. Leave it. You do you. Whatever makes your eyes happy. I don't like it, so what I do is I get a fluffy brush. Terry, may I ask a non? Yes. Of course you can. So I'm going to, Megan, yes. So I'm going to get a fluffy brush and I'm just going to work that out. Again, that is my personal preference. I just like it to look a little bit more blended. So you'll see I will go through this a couple of times. And then when I'm wiping with my baby wipe, I'm not pressing hard. So that way I'm just lifting up that top layer. All right. So you can already see just from there. I know I have the writing on the screen, which I can take off. Glamour and delicate. Okay, so glamour Glamour is not my most favorite, and I will tell you why. So if we look at like a glamour metallic in greenish gold, and we look at a delicate metallic white gold, they're fairly similar. Yeah. Don't worry, Megan. They're used to me doing this. Like if somebody has a question, we will have show and tell. So let's just grab anything, right? We're just gonna grab a book that Troy hijacked from me. You guys remember when I wanted to do this as a project one day and he hijacked me? Yeah. All right. So a delicate metallic paint is we talked about a little bit. It's your metallic paint that is like cream. It's got super. I don't wait. This color. Hold on. Where did I put it? It's super creamy and it's got amazing coverage for it being a metallic, right? So when you put it down, it's nice, it's smooth and super thick, right? Super opaque. The glamours, the reason why these aren't I don't know, not my favorite, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Can you see all of there's now sparkle in there? Can you tell the difference? So this is an opaque metallic cream, and this one has like a lot of sparkle in it. It almost reminds me, and it's kind of funny because if you guys know the Sparks paints that I like, but this one does something. Okay, so if we do this, so can you see all of the gold that's coming out? So these are mixed with gold, and that it's not as opaque as our delicate metallic is, but all of them have a sparkle to them. All of the glamours have all of the glamours will have a metallic sparkle in them, almost like a glitter, if you will, but it's not textured by any means. So do you see that? There's just glitter. There's a lot of like glitter, but when it's dry, and the best way I can show you, because it separates with water, that's why I'm spraying it, but you can see in the water, you can see all of the glitter that's happening. So I don't know. I love the delicate metallics because the color you get is that color. So if I want, this white gold, I'm going to get this beautiful white gold. If I do this glamour, which this one is a gold, it's greenish gold, you get a lot of sparkle metallic in there. So it really depends on what you're looking for. My favorite colors are always going to be like, if you could see, so in my right, I have this, whoa, I have the platinum, I have the greenish gold. This is just going to be the regular rich gold. And then I have the darkish silver. So you can see I don't really have a lot of the glamour, but I have every color of the delicate metallic. I just really love the delicate metallics and the coverage of them. Yeah, exactly why. So you can see the craft. Well, I don't know if you can tell because now the water's on there, but you can't see the craft paper underneath the delicate, but you can see the craft underneath the glamour. So it just, I guess, preference on what you're looking for, but yeah, I never really got much into the glamour line. I'm biased though. My favorite is the delicate. Bronze. Do we have a bronze? Yeah, there's a big difference between the glamour and the delicate. Big difference. Onyx, leave that dog alone. So again, because we varnished, I don't care that it's getting on that paper or the print at all. I will tell you, it's better, or I recommend just doing it in sections. You can control it better if you do it in sections. And then if you're like me and you have a fan on and it's, drying out and you just don't want to have to apply a whole lot of pressure to reactivate. So you see, do you guys see the difference between here and here? When I say, I think we're going to make these delicates go viral, thanks to you. You're welcome. I'm telling you, as soon as I used them years ago, I was like, does anybody realize how amazing these are? So when I tell you guys I don't like the goopies, again, that's just me. You guys know I'm a weirdo. My vocabulary, everything. I don't like the puddling that's happening right here. So let me show you. Do you see that? I don't like all the puddles that happen. I like it to look intentional, but not like I just like slapped some color in there. Okay, so that's why I will always, with a light hand though, I'm never going on at this with a lot of pressure, okay? Always with the light hand. Because remember, you also have not varnished, and you can do this. You can varnish your paint prior to going in with your antiquing gels. That way you have a lot more control over how much you wipe off. Because if you start going in with a heavy hand and you're wiping this back, you're going to wipe your paint off. Honestly, you will. So when I talk about I don't like the goopies, that's just what I'm talking about. I like it to be more blended. I like there to be shadows and shading, but I just don't want it to be puddles of antiquing gel in there. Again, that's all, personal preference. Because I'll see some people do it and leave it like that, leave it real thick in there, and it looks amazing. So again, you have to do what works into your style of art, right? And also, this is why with these antiquing gels or antiquing pastes, another reason why I don't mind all the cracks and whatnot that happens in clay, because I just think it looks that much more interesting when there's, when you have the cracks in there. And so you see, and also what you can do too a lot of the times is use the excess that's on here, because look, the writing's in the way. Let me take that off of there. Come on, little mouse. Okay, so a lot of the times you'll have so much antiquing gel on your rag or your baby wipe that you can just start to use that to get it on there, to be honest. But again, kind of like what we seen Lisa, how she likes to paint with her baby wipes on Creative Hour this Saturday. You'll end up having so much antiquing gel on your baby wipe. Love it. Don't love it. Hold on. Okay, that's better. Hi, Tiny Triplet. Yeah, if you wipe too hard, you notice I didn't varnish and my paint is all intact. If you varnish before, it gives you a lot more control as well. But it also, in my opinion, it takes me longer because when you're varnishing, it's going to resist, right, whatever you're putting on top of it. So sometimes you just have to keep applying and applying and applying in order for you to get the effect that you want. So that's why I say it's very important to use a light hand, because if you start going ham and you're like rubbing it off real hard, or not even real hard, but if you're just using a good amount of pressure, you're gonna start wiping off your paint. But if you're not comfortable or you haven't done this before and you'd like to try it, I would recommend that you varnish first, just so you have more control over how much of the antiquing gel stays. So this is the first one we're doing. We're using the brown, and then we're just gonna go in with a little hint of the of that green. Because I think it would be pretty just to have a little bit of that in there. All right. Okay. Let's that back, and then get our green. See how big of a difference that made already? Yes, the delicate metallics are Pintart. Delicate metallic paints. So I have them in the store. If you go exclamation new, it'll take you to the store. Exclamation new. All right. So let's take a little bit of the olive And I have all of these in the store as well. We're not going to use as much as this because I don't want it. Okay. So because of the way that I'm using the green, I'm going to use a little less water because I don't even know if you guys can see. I'll bring you down a little bit so you guys can see that. There we go. So I wanted whatever green I'm going to leave behind to be able to be seen. And if I water it down too much, you're not going to see it. All right, now let's get this. Just so we can have a little hint of that in there. And I'll use the brush to kind of move it down and around where I want it. Oh yeah, I like that. And we're still going to highlight the tops. Ashley. And I'm not worried about the walls so much right now because I'm going to use the little fluffy brush to kind of move it in there a little bit. Just so you get little hints of the green. Thank you. Thank goodness you're right, Onyx? My mail lady feels better and she's back. I have this stress off of my orders not getting picked up. Whoa. So pretty. And if you wanted to, you didn't even have to use the brown. You could have just very well just used just the green. That would have been pretty too. I know, doesn't it? That vintage beige, like I said, I'm so bad about, because it's the bigger, it's the 230. I'm so bad about forgetting, because I have Mandelas over here too. I'm supposing you guys have probably hardly ever heard me talk about that color, but they're just really good base colors. And when I was looking at the picture, I was like, gosh, I need a color that's not cream, or, and then I looked over and I'm like, keep forgetting about you over here. He's been around here. He was over here messing with me, trying to make me change my hat. But yeah, I'm not sure where he is now. He's either in my craft room just watching videos, or he's tearing up something or another. Y'all, the other day I lost my ever loving mind. That Nick even came out of the room to look at what I was hooting and hollering at. He had everything from his closet out, everything from his desk drawers out, everything from his trunk out, and it was all on the floor. Which obviously, when he's doing that, he is looking for something. But I was like losing my mind. And Nick come out of the room, and he rounds the corner, and he looks at me, and he peeks over, and he looks in the choice room, and he looks at me, and he kind of like giggled, and I said, "Don't you get out of here." He's like, "Good luck with that." Like, oh, yeah. Man, Troy, what are you looking for? That's what I kept saying. What were you looking for? You better have found what you're looking for. What were you looking for? Like he's gonna come up to me like, well, Mom, I was looking for. He's just laughing at me as usual. He doesn't care if I'm yelling at him, hooting and hollering. He thinks it's funny as can be. I couldn't believe it. I was like, how did you even walk out of the room? How did you even not fall and not hurt yourself? And you can't, oh my God. I don't even think I was making sense of the words that were coming out of my mouth. I was hooting and hollering so much. Thank you. I'm so excited. I'm going to get my wax now so we can put it on the top, on the tippy tops to make this glisten. Yeah, y'all, it was too much. It was too much. He's too much. All right, I know for a fact that I didn't put my No, I didn't. I left them out. I knew I left them out. What is that? Yep, that's the one. I even need to get this out. I'm just more amazed at how he will if I ask him to, but I usually I don't, because it's just easier for me to pick it up and throw it in the bag. Throw it in the toy box, but he will. But I'm more amazed that he doesn't like hurt himself trying to come out the room when he's got it all. He can't even walk on the daggone floor. Like, how did you even get out of the room in one piece, dude? All right, so this is the white pearl, and oh, my banana daiquiris. Look at that, you guys. So I'm just going in with it on my finger, and we're just hitting the high points of the mold. And you can see it's very little on my finger, and I'm using the top there to like blend it on my fingertip there, so there's not a lot that comes off on there. You guys know usually I will use a brush, but I literally want it to only hit where light is shining and where light would hit it. So that's why I'm just using my fingertip. Oh, and then, y'all, I got a message yesterday that my order with all of my Poke Tools and frames and all of the Shake-Ums and all of that stuff has been, at least she created the shipping label for them. Y'all, I don't know. I was not expecting that order to be done for like at least another week and a half. The fact that it's already got a shipping label printed and I have tracking for it, that's exactly why I said to you guys that I didn't put the order in when her daughter was having the baby, because I knew that she would fill the order no matter what. And sure enough, y'all, there is so much on this order. Like, I don't even know how in the heck she did it all so quickly. But with that said, that frame that I put on this box, the Shake-Ums and some other fun stuff for Christmas I have that's going to be here. But that's exactly why I didn't do it when she was waiting for her grandbaby to get here into this world, because I knew she was gonna do the daggone order. Terry, have you done or plan to do cloches or snow globes mold projects? Like an actual snow globe? Do you know I have two of those? Like I have actual snow globes, or do you mean like the snow globe mold? We could. I have two snow globes that I have not used that have been sitting in my craft room, and I have probably 3 or 4 cloches of all different sizes. I think I'm going to just take an itty bitty brush, because it does have this beading down here. So I'm just going to do this. What are you looking to do? What are you looking for me to do with it? Like Christmas stuff? I could pull them out. I have not done a clotion. I don't think I've done a clotion on a live. I know I've done it for like my projects, my DT projects that I've had to do. So I didn't want to kind of just leave that beading without acknowledging that it's there. So I'm just taking a little brush and I'm going up on the top of the tray as well. We'll have to do something cute in there though. So that way it doesn't look like, oh, you tried to cover that up, but you didn't do too well. It's like, no, I didn't try to cover it up. Like if it covered, but if not, that's great too. We can use it and get some extra interest as far as like some highlights and stuff on there. So, and I really do like around the top of the tray here, just a little bit. See why I didn't do the bottom? Can you imagine if I had done the bottom and I'm doing this? So funny, I was going to ask you the same question if you were going to do IOD wood globe and also decorate any ornaments. Am I gonna decorate ornaments? Is that what you're asking me? I know I haven't done very many ornaments, have I? Okay, that white pearl is just on another level. I love it. And then, no, we don't want the gold. We want the silver. See, and then it matches that beading up there too. Only thing I don't like about this is it just likes to do its own thing. I don't know. I have to rethink that. I might not like that now. Okay, so I've got a scratch right here and I can't scratch it. All right. Is it time for me to go yet? I feel like it's always time for me to go. I like it without the bling too. Oh, my poor jacket. Okay. So I'm obviously going to epoxy. I can't see because of the glare. Hey, what is that? I'm going to epoxy the tray so that it's food safe. But I want to, underneath the epoxy, I want it to have some like some glistening. They were here the other day. Oh, here they are. I wanted to have some pretty sparkle. Just like you guys know, I love to put the chameleon varnish underneath epoxy because it looks gorgeous. I've always wanted to do a snow. I have 2 big snow globes that my friend Nikki gave me. I promise I know other people. They're not all called Nikki and Nicole. All of their names are Nicole. But I do know more people than just those. My brother's name is Nikki too. I don't know. Anyways, I digress. We are going to give this some sparkle, a little shimmer, a little glimmer, a little shimmer glimmer. But are you going to behave? Because I didn't wash you out. So you're probably not going to behave because I can already tell. See? I said bye. Okay. Oh, you're going to behave? Sookie now. Okay. I like how I just go right in. I should really think of a plan first, but, you know. So I always tell you guys, for me, it's really important whenever we're doing like the 3D pins and stuff like that, that we just make sure, or I just make sure that I don't flatten out the picture. So what I mean by that is, I just want to make sure that I'm not taking away any of the shadows and highlights and things like that, because then it makes the picture, your print, look very strange, in my opinion. Because from trying to enhance it to now, it kind of just takes away from the picture whenever you're doing that. Obviously, I can't brush it off just yet because I'm going to be doing more up here. So just be aware whenever you're adding stuff to your picture that you're aware of like your shadows and highlights, and you don't flatten out the picture and make it look so what I mean by that is, even though I put the snow and all of that in here, you see how I left a little line there, so you can still tell there's separation of the roof there. And up here, you just want to make sure that you're enhancing the picture, making things really look 3D and not flattening them out. I don't know if that even makes any sense. Let me just stop talking. Y'all already know what you're doing. I don't need to be telling you nothing. Make sure you guys are following me on Telegram. I've noticed that quite a few people have dropped off of Telegram, and I don't know if that's Telegram doing that or if people are just dropping off, which is, that's fine too. But remember, Telegram is where I announce whenever we're doing different stuff, fun stuff. Hey now, if there's any, deals or sales going on, I'm actually going to embrace that and just leave it. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but in this roof, there's a lot of like little dark spots in the roof. And again, that's just some of the shading and whatnot that's happening intentionally in the picture. So I'm not going to cover those up. I'll get real close to it. Okay, I'm having to squeeze way too hard, so something's happening in there. Something's happening in there. Aha! Come out wherever you are. All right, let's try that again. Shouldn't have to squeeze that hard. You're gonna irritate me, aren't you? What time is it? Quit wasting my snow. Oh, a big clump came out, so I don't know what's in there that keeps getting stuck because it just cleaned it all out. So, all right, if it does it again, I'm calling it. And I'm just gonna. You're dumb. You're dumb. Thankfully, it's a big spot. And I just need the base down so I could put some shine on there. So this one is the snow crystal. And we've talked many times that the snow crystal is the middle of the three. So the ice is the most transparent, and then snow paste is very opaque white, and then this is the middle of them. And every time you see me pop off the lid, I always say, just make it easy on yourself. And every time you use these, after you're done, run over to the sink and clean it off. Just run them through some warm water, so that way you don't have this problem each time. Because all of the glitter and whatnot just dries in that little nozzle. But I'll get off of here and start doing stuff. Then I'll get ready to go pick up Trev, and I will not wash out the nozzle as usual, because that's what always happens. And then I'll go to use it. I'm about to use a different nozzle altogether. See, you're fired. I'm gonna pull Luckily, snow is not perfect. And for the most part, it's gonna it'll self-level out. Because I'm gonna put some glitter in there. And at the top of everything will be epoxy anyways, but I didn't want to cover all of it because that's not now I really got to wash them out. So, well, let me just leave that on there for a minute. Now I really got to wash them out because now the tops are different. All right. And then before I leave you guys, we'll sprinkle this side. And then when it's all dry, I will get off all of the excess, because I still need to do this one. But that's going to be so pretty underneath the epoxy. Obviously, there's a lot that we need to shake off of there. But now I guess that's going to force me to have to go clean these. Actually, I'm just going to throw it in my water. That's what I'm going to do. That'll force me. Well, I'll finish doing that. That'll force me to have to clean it because it's going to be in my water. But I'll finish doing that one after I say goodbye to you guys. And just got home from work. This is gorgeous. We'll watch replay. What? Hi Donna. Hi Roxanne. Thank you. So, yeah, I unfortunately need to leave you guys. So, I don't know that there's really much more to do to the tray. I mean, just some odds and ends stuff. I need to finish doing the snow on that one little side part of the house. And then I'll probably tinker with it and do a little bit on the trees. I won't put glitter on the trees. I might do a little bit of snow just on some of the branches of the trees. And then I need to pour the epoxy. I'm trying to think if I want to pour epoxy. I might pour the epoxy after I paint the bottom, because I won't be messing with it anymore. So I'll paint the bottom, because I've got to epoxy the bottom and then paint the bottom this vintage beige color. And then I still have to like antique it and do all the same stuff that we did to the top. I have to do to the bottom, or not have to, but I will do to the bottom. And then I'll probably epoxy it. So all of that stuff you guys don't need to see. Over here? Oh, I don't know what it is. Is it from the, it's probably from this stuff. Because it's what splattered. Because I didn't have any other white except for the glitter things. So, anyways. What glitter is that? It's the Finnabair glitter. It's a Finnabair glitter. And I don't know if I think I might be out. Because I don't know, Finnabair used it on her live. And then she was saying, I don't think you can get it anymore. And then I had said that it was in the store. Or I had it in my store. Which it's been sitting in my store for a while, and then all of a sudden I think that they left, but I'll get some more. Thank you. Alrighty, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. So it is not Friday, unfortunately. So I will see you tomorrow. The QR code that's up in the corner over there right here. You can do a screenshot, and then you can, when you open up your QR code app, you can grab the image from your QR code and it'll take you to the store. Other than that, I'll see you back here tomorrow. Make sure you keep an eye on Telegram, !Telegram if you don't have my Telegram. So that way you'll be notified if we're doing anything fun and exciting tomorrow. And yeah, so I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. I will see you back here tomorrow, actually Friday. And yeah, see, I will figure out my days at some point. See you tomorrow. Bye.